Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Grade A Flex channel for another episode of Grade A Fantasy, where we are here to talk about the Week 3 top plays for quarterback. Now, before we do that, I'm just going to get right into it. Yesterday was a crazy day. I basically got back a fifth of my money. Luckily, I did that. No, I did not have Kamara. No, I did not have no Daniel Jones. Picking low on defense is normally what I do. I kind of got that right. But yeah, when the Saints started smacking up the Cowboys, it was one of those, how much do I cash left? And then, of course, people like Cup got hurt. It was just a day that the chalk wasn't, good. So we'll just get rid of that. But let's start and get to these top, what I feel are the top QB plays and why for the Week 3 main slate. And before I even get into that, yeah, FanDuel, you just need to stop with this 820 crap. Just stop it already. Like, I hate it. When I started playing FanDuel before COVID or whatever, yeah, I was in private leagues where you had to sweat out the whole Sunday, but that's something different. It's a private league. That's you and your friends or whatever. We was always getting 20 people in the lineup, but we even had to sweat that out till Monday. But these public leagues if you adapt to DraftKings scoring, at least adapt to DraftKings common sense. I guess you're trying to keep your own identity. I mean, you did keep your points per reception still at 0.5, but now you want to put the bonuses and then do all this other stuff. Get the 820 game, man. Just get it out. I just had to start with that. Now, to get that out the way, let's start with, and if you hear me being a little, sounding a little distracted, I have the Monday night game currently 9-7 Atlanta. I have the Monday night game, so I will be looking back and forth a bit. So if you see me like just pause or something probably big or amazing happened or whatever, so just bear with me on that. But let's get into Week 3. Like I said, we're going to go into what I feel are the top plays. So you still got to go Lamar. Lamar's probably, I see Lamar getting into desperation mode. I could possibly see him doing something like he did game in Week 1, taking more charge of running the ball and passing the ball. I definitely see Week 1 Lamar against Dallas, especially if, once again, the Ravens front five, which is a newly put together front five, protecting Lamar. If we could get some of that Cowboys pressure to help Lamar rush the ball more, I'm already thinking that 88 is be the proper price. I think he's going to be forced to scramble a bit. I think we get Week 1 Lamar instead of Week 2 Lamar. Week 2 Lamar wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. But you're definitely going to need that 23, 25, and as you can see there, 28 point upside instead of barely getting to 20. So hopefully that Dallas front seven puts some pressure and makes Lamar step up in the pocket, throw that ball a little faster. Second main slate in a row that we get Patrick Mahomes at Atlanta. It's another opportunity where we have the possibility. I know he's struggling so far, and look at that. He's not even average. He's barely above the 15-point average. So, with that case, what we have here is we're gonna get the Mahomes. Honestly, like I said, even I said it a long time ago. It has changed. The offense has changed since Tyreek Hill is not there. It's more dink and dunk. Doesn't have many explosive plays. Unfortunately, Hollywood Brown is pretty much ruled out for the regular season. We all think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs, so they're saying possibility that he'll be there for the playoffs. So hey, we get to play him in the playoff slate. But guess what? We won't be seeing him for at least another 3 months. Patrick Mahomes, I still think is a good play. It will be a tough matchup. We could possibly see another mediocre 15-16. Maybe the way that offense is going right now, and no Pacheco, he might have to increase his pass volume, which is why this could be at least, we're looking at Mahomes as a 25, 26, 27, even bust out a 30-point game kind of guy. But no Pacheco. I think the pass volume, more gadget plays, a lot of motion, a lot of trick plays. I think Mahomes is going to have to do a little bit more these next couple of weeks. It's a sturdy defense, like I said. I like Atlanta at home. But like I said, Andy Reid and Mahomes will be coming up with something a little bit more creative, I think. And there's semi-balanced offense, but no Pacheco. Mahomes is still a good play because the pass volume has to go up. I expect him to take more deep shots down the field. So I really expect what we've been seeing week 1 and 2 to be the floor. I'm expecting Mahomes to at least get his first 20-point game, at least a couple of touchdowns with some scrambles. At least that. At least that. With the yardage and 2 touchdowns, with some yards and 2 touchdowns and maybe some scrambles, he could probably get to that. Averaging 15. I mean, what did he get week 1? Week 1 point wise, look, so he's basically, he's there around 15. So 8,700. I understand, like, getting a 20 from Mahomes ain't gonna do nothing. But like I said, if the pass volume gets there, then we're possibly looking at a floor of 17.5 to 20. That really doesn't get you there for 8,700, really. But like I said, that's the floor with this passing. I think with this game script, Mahomes should be looking for his first, not blow up game, but at least a first, like I said, first decent game. I mean, obviously, if he booms, Mahomes is a 30-point guy, but passing volume compared to what he's doing, Mahomes should at least get +9, +10 points for what he has here compared to his price value. Obviously, you always got to like Jalen Hurts at a very hot and, surprising New Orleans. Now, New Orleans being at home, you already know they play better home than they do on the road. But right now, New Orleans is doing their thing right now. So the Philly offense, and like I said, it's once again one of those things where I keep telling people, you're going to have to give these offense at least by week 3, week 4, work out all the kinks. Like I said, there's more and more people saying it now. Not playing in the preseason does seem to be affecting some of these teams. So, like I said, but you definitely can't rule out Jalen Hurts. I think all fantasy football people love the fact that Kyler Murray is back, healthy, scrambling. I think he's probably maybe the number 1 cash play, possibly. Has a nice matchup. Once again, he's at home against Detroit, so I like attacking that. Kyler Murray, and then he got Marvin Harrison Jr. on his breakout game. It's a good matchup for Kyler. He's definitely, I think without a doubt, Kyler would definitely be my possibly favorite pay-up option in the 8, because it is a group of $8,000 quarterbacks, and then it goes down from there. Next up, you gotta like C.J. Stroud at Minnesota. I think this is another game that I think you guys should look out for, because this is another game where you're gonna need the passing volume. Minnesota has a strong front seven. It's another one of those teams that you have to use your passing game to attack the defensive backfield. So I think, and then with Mixon hurt, the rookie Dameon Pierce also hurt, you're probably looking at Cam Akers to take the full load. Along with Cam Akers, I don't know if they bring anybody up. Mixon got rolled up with that somewhat of an illegal tackle. And then on top of that, like I said, Dameon Pierce, I think if I'm not mistaken, is dealing with a hamstring. So right now what we need is another game script right there. CJ Stroud, I like him up here as well. I think he's my second favorite 8,000 pay up option. He's definitely not better than Kyler, because CJ Stroud is not somebody that uses his legs to really do anything. So Kyler, CJ Stroud, my main top 2. As we get down here, I mean, it's fantasy, so as long as the passing volume is there and everything's going good, you got to take a look at Derek Carr. That Philly defense is good, but once again, that Philly defense will be on the road, and the Philly defense can be had. It's not the super tough Philly defense that you kind of remember. It does give up big plays, and right now New Orleans is pretty much king of the big plays. It seems like every week now. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but expect the Derek Carr to Rashid Shaheed, deep bomb. So Derek Carr has been playing well. Definitely the fantasy darling so far. And if you don't consider him a fantasy darling, then the next person, you gotta love it for him, and it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is probably I like the way he's playing. Once again, you attack Denver on the ground, but the way they've been playing, and look here, some people say they don't believe in the wide receiver cornerback matchup. I'm somebody that does believe in it. Once again, I think it's another great week for Chris Godwin. Evans is going to draw the Patrick Surtain shadow. So look, I'm letting you know right now. I understand we're supposed to talk about quarterbacks, but look for Baker Mayfield. Look for Baker Mayfield to hit Godwin again this week, working in the slot. And most importantly, this might be the breakout game we all been waiting for for Rachaad White. Everybody talks about the efficiency and everything, but if Rachaad White is still the main guy in the backfield, against this run defense, he should have the opportunity along with his pass value. Look for a Rachaad White breakout game. But also that also goes with Baker, because guess what? Baker also throws the ball to Rachaad White. So Baker's still in a good spot. As we keep going down here, Geno Smith. You gotta like the fact that, one, I'm also one of those people that don't believe in Miami defense. I've always been that type of person. I think with no Kenneth Walker, even though Charbonnet did fill in nicely, Charbonnet is more of a pass catcher than, a ground and pound runner. I think they could attack the mid-level, and DJ Metcalf had a great game last week. I think they can attack the middle, getting slots and tight end coverage in front of the linebackers. I think Geno has the potential, and yes, one of those things where he's at home. I think Geno has the potential to have a good game, and maybe. I don't think they announced a wide receiver. I said a wide receiver. I don't think they announced a who's the starting quarterback yet, if I'm not mistaken, for Miami. But if that offense struggles, there's a lot of potential. If, like I said, dealing with an oblique injury, you don't rush him back. I think Geno Smith can hit a couple of goal line fades to DJ Metcalf, and JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba had a solid game as well. So a lot of quarterback and wide receiver cores, some nice mini and possible double stacks, have some opportunity to do some damage this week. After that, going down. Now, when I did my research last night, Brock Purdy was definitely one of my plays. But now with no McCaffrey, now with no Debo, I mean, the stack does get cheaper. I still like Purdy because, I'm sorry, that's another defense that's gone downhill over the years. So I still like, I don't like it as much, but I still like Purdy and the Rams, because with no Debo, I think these stacks get a little bit more affordable. And yes, like I said, they got the kid Jordan Mason taking McCaffrey's spot right now. That team is kind of a mess right now, and man, with all the injuries that they got to that offensive line, I think there's a lot of potential to get Stafford on some 3-and-outs. There's a lot of potential to probably turn over Matthew Stafford, would give Purdy a lot more chances to spread it out to the likes of. And we already know he's a fan. I think we're all a fan. We love how his toughness. He's the complete tight end, blocking and everything. George Kittle should have a breakout game. Had a solid game. He did get dinged up a bit, but he should be back and well for week 3. As we keep going down here, who else do I like? Oh yes, I hope he's low owned. He's definitely going to be one of my players this week, because if they keep building on this, if they keep building on the chemistry that they're building right now and playing the way they are, I like Gardner Minshew for a low owned sack. Probably people like Devontae Adams will be played. But man, the only thing good right now with the tight end in tight end when you're in season long or DFS is Brock Bowers. So I will definitely be jumping into my 20 max and 25 max that they brought back the 20 max. The 25 max as well, the NFL Snap is what it's called on FanDuel. Definitely, I'll be looking for low owned stacks. That's definitely going to be leverage for me. I will definitely be looking at Gardner Minshew +1, +2 stacks. And then, of course, with Carolina, you can also look at Zamir White as well. We're not going to get too much into that. Like I said, there's still a lot of injury news coming in and out. So running back and wide receiver show will be in the middle of the week. I'll be doing a little bit out of order because I was waiting for a lot of injury news. After this quarterback show, I'll be setting up for the tight end show and for the defensive special teams picks as well. But let's continue talking about quarterbacks. Starting to improve. No breakout game yet for Gardner Minshew, but like I said, the pass attempts are there. They're letting him pass the ball. It's going against the worst defense in the league. Now, I will also be covering my own ass to make sure I get to Zamir White, because you could literally run the ball down their throats. But at the same time, they're still allowing one of the most, and they rank one of the worst defending the pass. So Gardner Minshew, if he could just build on that, like I said, at 72, if he could just give you the basic, like I said, he has a 13.9, 11.7. If one of these games he could at least not give you the interception and just give you 2 touchdowns, maybe one to Bowles, maybe one to Devontae Adams, even Jacoby Myers, if he could just give you that 2-point upside, at 7,200 and get you those extra 4 points. He passes in the volume, as you can see here, 38, 33 attempts, 276, 257. He has the passing round to get 300 yards. He does. But if he doesn't get the 300 yards, let's say he gets you to 280 something. But if he could get you that second TD, 280 something gets you 14 points right here. If he gets you that and gets you 18, and you stack it right with the right guy, you are on your way. And then as we look down after this, for me personally, not much for me down here. Not really much at all. I don't really like much. But if you're looking for 7,000 or lower, I mean, the Colts have a decent front seven, but I don't know about that back four. So maybe if he could build on what he was doing before, I guess you could take a shot at Caleb Williams. Like I said, Daniel Jones and the Giants, they only look that efficient fantasy-wise with Malik Neighbors because they went against a bad defense. This is a way better defense, so I can't recommend. I really don't like anybody. If you made me pick, well, I guess it's going to be Skylar Thompson for Miami, but if you made me pick, I really don't know. I really don't. Now, with the news today, he wasn't in my notes yesterday, so now that you got a veteran that knows what he's doing, they have decent wide receiver weapons. If we're going to scroll all the way down here, oh wow, that was a great play. Wow. That was an amazing play. Wow. Made him miss and flipped in the end zone. Darnell Mooney. Nice. Told you I knew something was going to happen while I was doing this episode. I'm trying to find, where in the hell is this guy? Why can I not find him? Okay, now this stream is going off the rails. Did I pass him? That's Sam Darnold. Where in the world is what's his face at? He was just named the starter for the Panthers. I'm gonna have to do it this way. Sorry, everybody. I really thought I had this all set, but like I said, this wasn't in my notes. So there he goes, Andy Dalton. If you think Andy Dalton could attack a mid-level Las Vegas defense, then hey, you're looking at Deontay Johnson and single stacks for him, and maybe you're looking to improve with Chuba, but 6,000 Andy Dalton, he's definitely better than, he's definitely way better than Bryce Young. I really don't like anything low this week. Like me personally, other than taking shots on Andy Dalton, I don't think you should be going any lower than $7,200 Minshew. To be honest, I really don't like anything low this week. I mean, you could get contrarian and try to figure out something that you might like, but once you get past Minshew against Carolina, like, I mean, can you get? I mean, yeah. I mean, Kurt's at home. Could he be protected and somewhat attack the KC defense? Yeah, I mean, they're not impenetrable or whatever. I mean, Joe Burrow had a solid game against them. It wasn't the best game, but he can still do some things. I mean, Sam Darnold's playing well as well. But like I said, under 7,000, I really don't see anything. I really don't. Like, I think this is the lowest you should be going. Like, I really don't think there's anything playable down here. Not for this week. Not for any of these guys at all. I really don't see anything at all that low. I think the lowest you're going is $7,100 Sam Darnold. Like I said, if you want to go 6,000, if you want to go 6,000, Panthers QB, I mean, I guess, but there's really nothing here, guys. There really isn't. But like I said, $6,000 quarterback, he doesn't have to do much to pay off, and that's definitely a cheap stack with as bad as Carolina's been playing. Because I can only imagine what Deontay Johnson is by now. He's got to be in the mid sixes by now. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the QB preview. And like I said, soon to come, I will have the other positions as the week goes on. Like I said, some teams are putting people on IR temporarily for 4 days. These rosters are set, so we don't know who's the practice squad people they're going to bring up and this and this and that. That's why I'm waiting on running back and wide receiver news so I could do that show in the middle of the week. But I already have my notes. Like I said, I have my notes on the tight ends and the defenses that you should be looking at this week. But thank you for tuning in. This is the wide receiver preview. This is Grade A Fantasy on the Grade A Flix channel. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I'm signing off.